welcome to part 2 of this Pilates class with the chair. We're going to stay sitting in the chair now and do some exercises for the arms and the upper back. I just want you to check your sitting position. So if you were to check yourself from the side, remember that you don't want to sit back into the chair and use the backrest. Bring yourself forward so that your feet are very comfortably grounded onto the mat and your back is lengthened and you're not relying on the backrest. You're using your deep internal postural muscles to keep your spine upright. From the front, just to get back into position so you can see me, we're going to start off just lengthening and stretching the muscles of the neck and the tops of the shoulders. And we're going to use the chair to help us to do this. It's a really nice little exercise. Can be quite intense, especially if you are very tight in these muscles. So just listen to your body and stop and rest at any point. When we go over and stay over, please remember that you don't have to stay there. You can keep coming back and forth. So what I want you to do is to have, as I say, feet grounded on the mat, and then you're going to hold the chair with your left hand. So grab hold of the side of the chair, get a good grip, maybe hold up something underneath or onto the side where you're not going to let go. Let your right arm hang off your shoulder and then sit up really tall. And we're going to start off by tilting your head to the right and letting your spine lean over as much as it can to the right. You'll feel the weight shift into the right bottom cheek or the right sit bone, the right arm hangs, and you should feel a little stretch into the top of the left neck and shoulder. And then gently bring yourself back. We're going to breathe in, go over, and then breathe out. Bring your weight back through the center. We'll do 2 more. So that left arm just holding you so you don't fall over, but you're going as far as you can to the right. And now stay here if you're happy to stay here. We're going to make some tiny little movements with your head. So if you want to, you could look down to your right arm and then maybe back up to the ceiling and down and up. Maybe those movements are too big for you. You can just do some tiny little circles. You could look towards your left shoulder and maybe back to the right shoulder. Just play around with your neck by gently moving your head. And just remember to keep breathing. Let's take 1 more big breath in. And the next time you breathe out, bring yourself back up. Great, now let's hold the right side of the chair and lean over to the left. And then come back to the center. Breathe in as you go over. And breathe out as you come back. And we'll do 2 more. And you might notice a difference from side to side. One side might be tighter. Good, now remember to stay over the side if you are happy to do that. And then make those tiny micro movements with your head. Looking down to the floor and up to the ceiling if you wish. Drawing tiny little circles with your head. Or looking back to the right shoulder and then down to the left shoulder. Just play around with what works for your body. And if you find a particularly tight spot, stay there. And just breathe and hold that stretch. Take 1 more big breath in, and as you breathe out, bring yourself all the way back up again. Release the chair, shake out the hands if you want to, release the shoulders if you need to. A few little circles feel quite nice after that. Good, okay, let's then take the back of your hands and pop them onto your thighs so your palms are turned up to the ceiling. Now this exercise is very, very subtle. You may not see any change of my spine, but what I'm trying to do is lengthen the body. So I'm going to gently press the back of my hands into my thighs as I lengthen through my spine, through the crown of my head, and then let the body soften but keep that sense of length. So we're breathing out, press the hands into the legs and breathe in to soften. Breathe out and breathe in. Just 2 more sets. Try to keep the length as your arms relax. Last one. Good. Now bring your hands together in front of your chest and your thumbs will rest onto your breastbone. Elbows are out to the sides rather than hanging underneath the shoulders, so you're just as wide as you can be across those collarbones. Then keep pressing your hands together, and as you breathe in, float your arms up towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, press them together back onto the breastbone. Breathe in and breathe out. This is a really lovely stretch for the shoulders. The arms only straighten as much as they can. They don't have to fully straighten, and always make sure the hands are staying connected together. Just one last one. Great. Now let's relax the arms just for a moment. Again, release the shoulders. Then bring your arms up above your shoulders up to the ceiling, and think about the weight of the shoulders dropping back, so the arms are heavy in your shoulders. The space between your earlobe and the top of your shoulder is as long as you can make it at the moment. But you're not pulling the shoulders down, you're just relaxing them down. And then, on your breath in, lift your shoulders up towards the ears. The fingertips reach to the ceiling. And then breathe out. Let the shoulders release. Breathe in, lift them up. Breathe out, let them release. We'll do 3 more. If you need to stop and rest, do, because this is quite tiring for those arm muscles, the shoulder muscles. Good. I'm doing 1 more because I've lost count. And then I'll release the arms and relax the shoulders. We're going to use the arms again lifted to help us with a side pull, an arm pull in a side reach. So I want you to keep your bum really grounded on your chair. Try not to lift one side as you lean over to the other side. So keep that weight into the sit bones. Bring your arms up above your chest again, or up above your shoulders, and this time take hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Now we're going to reach the body over to the left, so head, neck and spine lean to the left. And if you can, pull your right arm in your shoulder to straighten it as much as you can. You'll feel that length down the right side. And then come back to the center and swap hands. Holding the left wrist, we side reach to the right. The left bum stays heavy, pull the left arm. Big breath in and breathe out, come back to the center. Swap hands 1 more time each, go over to the left. Breathe in, pull the arm, breathe out, come back. Swap again, stretch to the right, pull the left arm, and gently come back. Release your arms to your sides. Give the shoulders a nice big circle or a shrug to release them. So next we're going to come into a spinal spiral where we twist the spine from side to side. I want you to be aware of your legs, so try to keep your knees as still as you possibly can. Try not to let them shift back, or one shift back as the other shifts forwards. So that should mean your pelvis is staying still and it's just the spine that's rotating, which is what we want. We're going to use the chair here for this movement. So I'm going to bring my left arm in front of me and grab hold of the right side of the chair. My right hand goes behind me, somewhere where I can again grab hold of the chair. And then keeping my legs still, I'm going to twist my spine as much as I can to the right, spiraling upwards. And then I come back to the center. Right arm across the body, twist to the left. And come back to the center. We're just going to do 2 more to each side. So use the chair to help you find that rotation and keep spiraling upwards. Think of growing longer, taller in your spine. Last one to each side. So remember, all of these exercises you can do whilst you're sitting at your desk, just having a little break, keeping movement in your bodies. Good, okay. Again, keep the knees still, legs still, pelvis still. Let's come into some bow and arrow. This is lovely for mobilizing the shoulders and the elbows and the spine in rotation. We are going to bring your arms out in front of us, palms turned down to the floor. Again, relax the shoulders, lengthen your neck. Lengthen your spine, draw the tummy in. Start with your right hand coming to the chest, left arm stays in front. And now twist your spine to the right and look back to that right elbow. Open the arm all the way out until it's straight, and then bring that back arm all the way to the front. Bring the left hand to the chest, twist your spine to the left. Open the left arm, look back to the hand, bring the straight arm all the way back to the front. Breathe in, breathe out to twist, breathe in to open, breathe out to come back. So remember, you're spiraling upwards, just like before, growing longer in your spine as you move through the arms. One last one to each arm. Pelvis and legs stay still. Breathing in, breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And relax your arms. Again, release the shoulders. I'm going to turn to the side for this next exercise, but please stay as you are on your chairs, other than making a small adjustment. What I want you to do is to bring your bottom slightly further forwards so you have space to move your spine into. Obviously, the closer you are to the back of the chair, the less space you have for movement. So we're going to come into an exercise, it's a C curve for the spine, a lengthened C curve, and then also an extension. So we're bending the spine into flexion and then into extension. So just move to what feels comfortable within your bodies. Feet again planted onto the floor. We're going to interlace the fingers together and turn the palms to face forwards in front of you, and then place the back of the hands towards the chest. Elbows nice and wide. So we start with the flexion. On your breath in, you're going to roll your pelvis slightly back, curl your spine and press your arms forwards. Draw your tummy in towards your spine. On your breath out, sit up tall. Take the hands behind your head. On the breath in, lift your chest, look up to the ceiling as you open your throat. And breathe out to release back to neutral, hands back in front of the chest. Breathe out, press forwards, round the spine. Breathe in, wrong breathing, come back, sitting tall. Breathe in, lift your chest, look to the ceiling. Breathe out, release. It's the breath in as we C curve, rounding the spine. Breathe out, sitting tall, hands behind the head. Breathe in to lift, open the chest, lengthen the neck. Breathe out to release. We'll do 2 more sets. Last one to finish. Getting really lovely movement into the whole of the spine, front and back. And then let the arms relax to your sides, release the shoulders. I'm going to give you this view again, just so you can see from the side. What I want you to do now is to shift your bottom further forwards, right to the front of the chair. But obviously you don't want to tip the chair forwards, you want to feel that you're stable. So if you need to be slightly further back, then do that. Again, the feet are planted on the floor, right underneath your knees. And we're going to come into our back support exercise. Now we did this actually last week's class, where we did this on the mat. It's a little easier on the chair because of the position of the spine to start off with. So let's take the hands behind you. You're resting on the heels of the hands. Try not to lock the elbows, so keep them a little bit loose, ready to react. And we're going to start off, well, always have a straight back, and then see if you can lift your bum off the chair, sliding forwards, bringing your hips in line with your knees, and then come back down to rest your bottom. Breathe out as you push up. Breathe in as you come back down. So we're bringing the arms into deeper shoulder extension, which for some people is a little bit tricky. You'll notice the angle has increased. If that's too much for you, make the movement slightly smaller. You don't have to lift your hips all the way up. Just take the weight off the bottom. If you are coming into full back support position, look down your body. Try not to throw the head up and bend the neck. So you're looking down as you lift your bottom up. keep the tummy drawing in, but use your arm muscles, use your bottom muscles to open the hips. So it's called back support because we're strengthening those muscles of the back line of the body. We're going to do at the most 2 more sets. If you need to stop, you just stop. Good, last one. And then resting back onto the chair, take the weight off the wrists, shake them out, release the shoulders. Very nice work. We've got one last little challenge here sitting, and this is a tricep dip. So what I want you to do now is to, actually I'm going to move my chair slightly further back just so that I can drop my bum without you losing sight of me. Okay, so you're holding onto the very front of the chair, and you're going to walk your feet a little further forwards until your bottom slips off the chair, but your arms are holding you up here. So again, it's quite a bit of work for the wrists and the shoulders. You're opening the chest, lengthening your spine, and then as you breathe in, you're going to bend your elbows to lower you towards the floor, and then breathe out, push yourself back up. Breathe in, and breathe out. We're going to do a couple of more of these, well actually more than a couple. Now remember that you can make it a tiny little dip, very small elbow movement, or you could lower as much as you want. The elbows coming down, so bottom coming down as the elbows bend more and more and more. Obviously the lower down you go, the harder it is to push back up, the more those triceps have to work, and the more the shoulders have to work. We're opening the chest. We'll do 2 more at the most, wherever you want to go. When you finish, sit back onto your chair, come off the arms, release the shoulders, give them a lovely circle if you want to, let go of any tension in the body. Brilliant, brilliant work, well done. Next, part 3, we're going to come onto the floor. So have your mats ready, we're going to pop them under the chairs, and we'll begin on the floor. So I look forward to seeing you in part 3. Bye for now.